Chapter 1, Rebirth as a Villain. Reborn as a Villain in Tales of Demons and Gods by Fandaist. Shen Yu is a college student studying engineering. He has a hobby of reading Xiangxia novels in his free time and has read most of the top novels in novel updates. Even if he found the typical protagonists annoying due to their arrogance and questionable moralities, they were better than weak beta Japanese main characters who reminded him a little too much of himself. Whenever he was bored in class or at home, he would daydream about being reincarnated as a MC in a Xiangxia world and gathering a harem after becoming OP. This habit proved deadly as one day as he was crossing the street while daydreaming, he got hit by a truck and blacked out. When he became conscious again, he found himself in some sort of a classroom. A red-haired woman in a blue dress seemed to be talking about something to the class. Some words like Glory City, Fighter, Demon Spiritist caught his mind. Wait, doesn't this sound familiar? Glory City, this is the name of city in Tales of Demons and Gods. And this scene is the beginning of the story when the MC named Nai Li got reincarnated. Am I in a dream and right now I became the MC of the TDG? Wow, there is a girl sitting beside me and there is an orange-haired young boy 2 rows behind me looking at her. Wait, the MC is not supposed to be sitting beside any girl. Also, that boy looked familiar. Right, that face looks very similar to the MC in the TDG manga and this girl beside me looks like the main heroine Yezi Yoon. Oh my god. Number. Does this mean I am her disgusting fiancé Shen Yu who is supposed to die later in the story? Why the hell am I dreaming as him? Is it because I have the same name as him? At least let me be a MC in my own dream. Not good, I must wake up so I can have a better dream. Shen Yu tried to pinch his thigh and arm to wake himself up but the pain felt too real. The girl beside him was looking at him with a weird look. Wait, this dream is too real. Let me try to enjoy even if I am a villain of the story. When the woman, supposedly his aunt in the story, started talking about how nobles are different from commoners and the commoners should accept their miserable fate, Nai Li spoke up. This is following the script quite well. For now, let's just wait and see. As Shen Yu expected, Nai Li went on to make a bet with his aunt to reach bronze rank in the test in 2 months and was asked to stand behind the class with a group of his friends. When the class was over, Shen Yu went on to his home. Unsurprisingly, he gained some of the memories from previous Shen Yu, so he was able to find his way back. As he started to assimilate his host's memories, he remembered that he has an older brother who is engaged to Xiaoninger and a father who oversees finances for the sacred family. His father is favored to inherit the position of patriarch. Wait, if the story follows the script, my father would lose his position because of Nai Li's schemes, and my whole family would be annihilated because of betraying Glory City. If that happens, doesn't that mean I will die as well? But I just reincarnated, why should I die and become a stepping stone for the MC? I must think of a way to survive. Right, but where is my cheat item? Every reincarnator is supposed to come with an OP chat item that can help him become strong. I hope I am not the only one without one. If something fantastical like reincarnation is possible, it isn't too much to ask for a cheat item, right? Let's wait and see for now. After a few days, Shen Yu adjusted to his life at the House of Sacred Family. His father would usually be busy and his brother was never at home so he had all the time to himself. He has also acquired all of his host's memories. In the afternoon, while he was looking at a cultivation book from his family's library, he found a weird sensation in his head. In front of his eyes, a holographic book appeared, Cultivation, Bronze Level, 120 faults. Just as he was confused as to what was happening, he finally laughed out loud. Haha, this must be my cheat item. This looked like the cheat item of MC from the most recent Xiangxia I read Library of Heaven's Path. Wait, how can a cheat item from a different Xiangxia world be here? Anyways, it doesn't matter, as long as it helps. From what I remember, This system works by collecting many different books on a technique or knowledge and then compiling the most correct version of the technique. Let's try finding all the different books on cultivation books relating to bronze level. Shen Yu found about 20 books and they were all recorded in his library. He merely had to turn the pages and they were automatically compiled in the Library of Heaven's Path. But turning the pages of 20 books took an hour. He then went to the Academy's library to find more books that had to do with bronze level. He found Nai Li and his group in the library. When they saw him come in, they quieted down and went upstairs. Right, this is the time when Nai Li gathered his friends and gave advice on their cultivations. Later, he will be hunting some horned sheep using poison arrows with his friends to earn money. Wait, that's where he meets Xiao Ninger, the second heroine. Though Nai Li pretty much denied her feelings even though the girl practically gave out her heart for him. I always felt that if I were the MC, I would definitely have chosen Xiao Ninger instead of Yi Ziyun. Who cares about his past life? This girl had such deep feelings for him. Wait, I have an idea. I may have a chance to prevent their meeting from happening. According to the story, this should be where Ninger starts to develop feelings for MC when he treated her illness. I can go to the forest before the Nai Li to meet her. But first, let me get all those books on cultivation to bronze level. As soon as Shen Yu finished collecting all the bronze level books in the library, he went back home to cultivate. As expected, the library compiled all the books into a complete book with no errors. This must be the perfect way to cultivate. As he looked into this book, it looked very clear and succinct. He started cultivating, forgetting about lunch until the evening. Around the evening, he felt his soul force has risen up tremendously. He used a soul stone to test and indeed he was now at bronze rank. He felt very happy as this confirmed that his cheat item is very powerful. He then remembered about the forest and set out to find Xiao Ninger. When Shen Yu reached the forest, he went around randomly to see if he could find the girl. After walking around the forest for about an hour, he finally found a beautiful girl with orange hair emitting a bright light as she seems to be cultivating. When he saw her in this state, he felt a reaction from the library in his head: female, below bronze level. Arctic disease. Symptoms: pain under feet while training soul force. Chapter 2, Meeting Ninger again. When Xiao Ninger heard some footsteps approaching, she became alert and took out her dagger. Who is it? Show yourself. Hi, Xiao Ninger. It's you, Shen Yu. What are you doing here? Xiao Ninger felt confused. What would a young master from sacred family be doing here? I was just trying to practice my skills using the horned sheep and found you, so I thought I would say hello. I can't tell her I came here to find her now, can I? With my reputation, I might sound like a rapist. Oh, okay. Though she still held some doubts. Why would a young master from a noble family need to come to a forest to train? He should have many trainers and resources at home. By the way, you seem to be in pain. Are you okay? What do you mean? I am just fine. She started to panic a little. Nobody can know about her condition. Don't worry. I just thought that you are feeling pain on your feet. You feel it more when you try to train your soul force, right? What did you say? How did you know? I read about it in some ancient books. With your symptoms, I think you have an illness called Arctic disease. You also should have bruises on your body. As your body leans toward yin and training under the moon with this disease can worsen your condition. Really? Can it be treated? The cold and beautiful girl who seems to intimidate the boys around her now looked pitiful. She just realized she may have admitted to having the symptoms. Yes, the symptoms will become worse as you train your soul force. You can use Dayin technique to massage affected areas. You should stop training, and ask someone in your home to apply the massage on your body. You can be completely cured in about 10 days. Oh, thank you so much, Shen Yu. Can you keep it a secret? No problem, I will not tell anyone, I feel a little disappointed. Isn't she going to ask me to treat her? I guess I don't look as reliable like the MC. As he turned around and walked away, he heard a small voice, "Wait." He turned around trying to suppress his excitement. "Can you help with the massage?" "Yes, I have hit the jackpot." "Are you sure?" "I will have to touch the affected areas to do the massage. I think there must be bruises in sensitive areas as well. I am trying so hard to keep a straight face." "Oh, no, no problem. It's just, nobody will know, right? I don't mind if you don't tell anyone." She was definitely blushing now. Shen Yu's heart skipped a beat. How cute and beautiful. How retarded can MC be to throw this girl away? Since he doesn't want her, she will be mine. Yes, of course, nobody is supposed to know. I can help you if you are fine with it. He is trying to stay calm, but his heart is beating hard with anticipation. "Thank you, I will repay this favor someday." She seemed so different from her cold and unapproachable personality in class. Shen Yu started to massage her feet using the technique as shown by the library. It only took a few minutes to finish the technique, but he still lingered about a few seconds more to just prolong this intimacy. When he started to massage, a bruise on her upper chest, her face, ears, and neck were all turning red. He didn't linger too long as he himself was nervous. She was wearing a pink bra. He could see her cleavage, but he couldn't turn his eyes away as he massaged. When Xiao Ning'er saw that gaze, she blushed even redder, which made her look very enticing. Are you done?" "Oh. Yes, I am done." He felt flustered. He tried to keep his cool, but he can already feel his erection under his pants. He quickly put his gaze away and stood up. "Remember, do not practice your soul force for now. You should feel better after a few days of massage. Let us meet again at western part of the forest. There shouldn't be anyone going there since there are no herbs or monster beasts to hunt. I needed to change the location so we don't run into Nai Li later." "Yes, thank you very much. I will not forget this favor." She was not looking him in the eye. A faint blush could still be seen. After a few breaths, she turned back into a cold face with no emotions. Shen Yu then bid her goodbye and walked back home. "I feel a bit disappointed." In the story, she made small talk with Nai Li and asked him who he liked and so forth. I guess she didn't fall straight for me after all. Whatever, I get to at least spend time with her the next few days. When Shen Yu got back home, he started to think of what he should do next. According to the story, Nai Li will start getting close to Yi Ziyun by giving her advice on cultivations in the library. I shouldn't worry about Yi Ziyun for now. Even if I am engaged to Ziyun, I also can't antagonize Nai Li like in the story. I must first think of surviving the coming disaster to my family. Hold on, if I remember correctly, at next week's class, Nai Li will accuse one of my family's clan fire inscriptions as plagiarized, and that will cause some trouble to my family. That should also be the reason why my engagement with Ziyun got cancelled. I must prevent this. Next day, Shen Yu decided to go find his aunt and explain to her about the inscription and its origins, and even tried to add some weight to his words by saying how he eavesdropped Nai Li's conversations with his friends. He warned her that Nai Li was planning to challenge her in class, trying to attack the reputation of our family, so she shouldn't take the bait. She was stunned at first, then furious at Nai Li, but finally agreed to not talk about it in class. Well, that's one crisis avoided. Shen Yu has just achieved bronze rank and is now capable to choosing a demon spirit. But he decided to increase his soul force as high as possible before choosing one. His family library has many books on silver and gold levels. Some books on black gold and very few on legend rank. Shen Yu collected all the books on silver rank levels from his family library and recorded them in his Heavens library. He then went on to the Academy's library to record the books on silver rank novels. The library was quiet since there was no one around. After he recorded all the books enough for the library to compile a perfect heaven technique for silver rank, he went back home and cultivated. He cultivated through the whole day and night before he felt an enormous increase in his soul force. He quickly grabbed a soul stone and tested his soul force. As expected, he has broken through to silver rank. Normally, it would take months or even years for a normal person to cultivate through bronze and silver ranks depending on their aptitudes. But with the help of Heaven's library, he raised his soul force to 2 levels in about 2 days. That was the power of the Heaven's library. As long as there was enough books and information on the cultivation method, the library would compile the perfect way to cultivate with no detours. Moreover, Shen Yu could feel that his soul force was purer than before. I must be the only one of my age with soul force of silver rank in entire Glory City. I should now get a demon spirit, and that would raise my fighting strength multiple times. But what spirit would be fitting for me? Right, according to the story there will be an excursion to some ruins with young master from divine family. This is where Nai Li got something precious. I must think of a way to join that expedition and maybe try to get something. First, let me get the most precious demon spirit my family can get. I can't let them know I have already broken through to silver rank. I will just replace or even add the demon spirits I find in the future. Alright, I must go meet my sweetheart, Ninger, in the forest for her treatment. Hehe. Chapter 3 Cultivation and Expedition. During the following days, Shen Yu treated Xiao Ninger in the forest as agreed. During each meeting, they hardly spoke more than a few words, but she seemed a bit embarrassed. But after the 3rd day, she started to respond to his attempts to make small talk, mostly about cultivation and school. Right, in the story MC gave her cultivation technique of wind and lightning origin, which helped her break through very quick. But I can't give her one since I need many techniques before my library can form a better or perfect technique. Maybe I should ask her. Ninger, can I ask you something? Yes, of course. You have helped me greatly. I feel a lot better now. What do you need? Ninger felt glad at the opportunity to repay his favor. In her mind, Shen Yu is an arrogant young master from a major family while she is from an insignificant noble family. But after meeting for a few times, he does not display any sort of arrogance and seemed almost humble. She was even able to make comfortable small talk with him. But she doesn't want to owe him too much. Also, she isn't going to marry his brother Shen Fei even if she need to break ties with her family. Well, that is. I was wondering if you can bring me some of your family wind lightning techniques. Don't worry, I know it's a secret for your family. I don't need high-level techniques, just as many as you can get for low-level ones. I only want to take a look at them, I don't even need to take them with me. I am interested in studying different techniques. I hope she doesn't misunderstand me. Oh, sure. If it's just low-level techniques, we have a lot at my family. I can bring them to you next time we meet. Shen Yu went home after that. He tried to remember from his memory what Nai Li is going to do in the story. First, he should be buying purple mist grass to take advantage of the rise in price after he sent to the alchemists a formula for spirit recovery pill. But since he has no connection with Xiao Ninger, I wonder how he will get money. I am sure he has his ways. I don't need money, so I shouldn't interfere with this. I must prepare for the trip to the ruins. First I will select the demon spirit for myself. After talking with his father, Shen Yu got a demon spirit from family's treasury. By identifying different spirits inside the treasury with his library, he was most satisfied with the black tiger demon spirit. He practiced his spirit to be able to control it and to increase his fighting strength. Right now, he is at the top of silver rank. There are different levels for each rank, distinguished by 1 star, 2 star, etc. with after 10 stars is another rank. Using his library of heaven, he was able to rise to the top of silver rank without much difficulty. He is only a step away from gold rank. But he doesn't have enough books in his family's library for gold rank. There are about 20 or so books, but he will need more than 50 books to get a perfect heaven technique to cultivate gold rank. He decided to use his family to look for different books on gold rank. Since the quality is not necessary, his servants were able to gather about 30 more books necessary from other noble families in just about 3 days. Shen Yu used all the books for gold rank to form a perfect cultivation path using his library. He then decided to skip school and cultivate the whole day in his room. Just like last time, after about a day and a half he felt his soul force rise suddenly and made another breakthrough. He used a soul stone to test and indeed he was now at pinnacle of gold rank. His demon spirit also became much stronger. Gold rank fighters are not common in Glory City. Only noble families are able to hire them as high-level guards. But gold rank fighter at his age was not something imaginable at all. To break through to black gold rank, his family only have about 15 books or so on it. The other noble families or the Academy's library are not likely to have them. Only major families like City Lord and Divine Family are likely to have those. But to assess those books would not be easy. Shen Yu decided to increase his knowledge in the meantime by flipping through all the books in the library in different fields apart from cultivation such as inscription, alchemy, arrays, etc. There were about 1,000 books in his family library, so it will probably take days to flip through all of them. After that, he would be able to access those books whenever necessary. He then decided to go to the library to look through some books. Shen Yu found Nai Li and Zai Yun sitting on a table in the library. He remembered that it was then that Nai Li advised Zai Yun on her cultivation, which would be extremely helpful to her. He decided to not interfere with them and turned out to leave. He caught the gazes of both Nai Li and Zai Yun. Nai Li had a challenging gaze while Zai Yun had a blank expression. He didn't think much of it and returned home to keep flipping through books. In the original story, Shen Yu would find trouble with Nai Li for talking to Zai Yun and become his enemy. Right now, Shen Yu is trying to keep a distance from Nai Li and keep getting stronger. The next day when he went out for his last treatment with Ninger, she brought many cultivation techniques from her family. Shen Yu looked at them and used his library to form a semi-perfect cultivation technique with only a few faults and wrote it down while Ninger was watching him in puzzlement. Ninger, I got this cultivation technique from an ancient book that I thought might be suitable for you. Since the technique doesn't suit my cultivation style, I will give it to you. Ninger took a look at what Shen Yu gave to her and found that the technique seems more complex than the ones she was familiar with. She was surprised at how Shen Yu could get this type technique, which is her family's specialty. She started to doubt that the resources of a sacred family may be higher than she expected. But she decided to not ask and accept it, although she wasn't entirely sure how valuable the cultivation technique is. Thank you, Shen Yu. My illness is almost completely cured because of you. I can now cultivate freely. You have given me a lot of help during these few days. If there is something you need, please let me know. I will do my best to repay you the favor. She looked very serious while she said her thanks. Shen Yu graciously accepted her thanks and went back home. The expedition is expected to set out tomorrow. He needed to prepare by bringing necessary items. He decided to bring some gold rank guards as in the story. In the story, he brought them to deal with Nai Li, but now he still decided to bring them because they could help with those crazy apes and Black Guild members that will attack the group from what he remembered. During the trip, Nai Li stayed beside Zai Yun and kept trying to talk to her. Shen Yu decided to follow from behind the group and mostly ignored them. Shen Yu's behavior of staying low in the last few days had surprised a lot of people around him. For them, he had always been arrogant and liked to bully the other small nobles and commoners who seemed to catch his notice. But now he mostly kept to himself without talking to people. His group of guards followed closely behind him. As in the story, Nai Li fought with an arrogant noble who was jealous of the attention Divine Family young master Shen Lin Jane's friend Lan Ro was paying to Nai Li. Nai Li, as expected, destroyed and absorbed his soul system, shocking everyone in the group. When the group reached the ruins, the apes suddenly attacked. As I let my guards take care of them, Nai Li didn't have a chance to show off his shooting skills because of that, and even a lot of people thanked me for bringing those gold rank guards. Even if I didn't do the fighting myself, many students looked at me with gratitude in their eyes, seeing the danger those apes could have posed to them. Because the group didn't get separated due to apes, Nai Li didn't get to arrive at an underground cave at the north side of the square with Ziyun and find the treasures there. The group decided to go to different directions in small groups, and I managed to convince Shen Linjian to let me search the direction the underground cave is with my guards. Nai Li and the others went the other direction. After some time, Shen Yu found the entrance to the underground tomb and went in with his guards. In there, he found a room full of skeleton corpses in a coffin. After enduring the burning light from the coffin, he found a page of temporal demon spirit book and an abstruse gemstone inside the coffin. He went further into the tomb and finally found the treasure trove he was looking. Shen Yu's guards were ecstatic, talking about how rich they were going to be. He let them take as much as they can since he didn't really have a choice, as he couldn't carry them all by himself. He found a shining lamp among the treasures and remembered it to be the shadow lamp Nai Li came here for. He quickly grabbed it and put it in his storage ring just as his guards were busy collecting the treasure. The group of Shen Linjian dug out the top of cave and came through the stairs as in the story. They were all ecstatic when they found the treasures. Nai Li and the others also came with them. When Shen Linjian asked Nai Li to take an item, he looked around but had a disappointed expression. He then looked at Shen Yu with small suspicion in his eyes before just taking a golden sword. Haha, Nai Li. I took that Shadao box you really wanted. You can't really accuse me because unless you can explain how you know about the lamp. Shen Yu was feeling pretty excited about the fact that he was able to get the upper hand over Nai Li. Chapter 4, Alchemist Guild. Shen Yu started to organize his memorizes at this point in the story. Nai Li would now go to Alchemist Guild to form a partnership while he gave them many high-rank pill formulas and split the profits. Shen Yu decided to expand his knowledge by going to Alchemist Guild as well. He had already taken in all the books in his family's library and academy's library. He has very basic knowledge on alchemy, inscription, and various cultivation techniques. But compared to MC, his knowledge is very much lacking. Although his power level is much higher now, he knows the MC will catch up easily. Shen Yu decided to change his hairstyle and wear normal commoner clothes when he arrived at the Alchemist Guild alone. He is still trying to keep a low profile until he figured out how to deal with incoming crisis involving his family. He arrived at a front desk where a young girl in white robes with alchemist emblem greeted him. Can I help you? Yes, I am trying to take an alchemist exam. The primary alchemist exams are already done a few days ago. If you still want to test, you will have to pay 10,000 demon spirit coins. I am willing to pay for that. Can I ask if you have books related to the exam? Yes. The exam will be ready in about 4 hours. The books for studying for primary exam are in the first floor in the west wing. For the guild library, you can only go in there if you have passed the primary exam and obtained the alchemist license. Thank you. Shen Yu went to the area where the basic materials for the exam were kept. He found there were about 100 books in the bookstall. There was only an old man sitting on a desk at the entrance. He told him he's here to find books for the exam and started flipping through the books. His speed has increased after getting used to the library. He was able to flip through all the books in 3 rows of bookstalls in over 4 hours. The old man at the desk was looking at him with disdain in his eyes. In his eyes, Shen Yu seemed to be just showing off. Shen Yu went back to the front desk to take the test. The girl guided towards a room where 2 elders with white robes were sitting on a desk. They gave him a short glance and pointed at the test papers on the small table in the center. He grabbed a chair and started going through the problems. After he has assimilated all the knowledge through the library, he was able to figure out most of the problems on the test. They were all dealing with fundamental principles in alchemy and instructions on concocting low-level pill formulae. He finished the test in an hour half the assigned time and gave the papers to the elders. The elders gave a sigh when they saw him finish early and thought he had given up. We will let you know the result in an hour. Please wait outside. Thank you, elders. Shen Yu went out to wait as suggested. He was very tired at this point. He has absorbed a lot of information during the 4 hours before the test and had to utilize most of them during the test. He is however quite confident of his performance in the test. The elders came out after an hour and congratulated him. You had a perfect score. Congratulations, you are now a primary alchemist. May we ask your name? Who is your teacher? The elders were shocked. Just a few days ago, a young boy named Nai Li had come and surprised them all with his brilliance at the tests as well as his high-ranking pill formulae. Thank you, elders. My name is Yu Shen. My teacher is not from Glory City. He doesn't like to tell others his origin. He decided to just reverse his name and formed an imaginary teacher like Nai Li did to cover up his performance. Although passing the primary test is not as impressive as Nai Li had done by giving them high-rank pill formulae, he still decided to be careful to avoid any suspicions to his identity. A young man like him cannot become primary alchemist without a strong backing behind him. We understand. No need to worry about it. Here's your badge. Thank you, elder. Shen Yu walked out and went to the direction of the guild's library. With the license, he entered the library and started flipping through the books. There was a beautiful mature woman in the library, but he couldn't pay attention to her. She seemed to be looking at him from time to time as she read a book. After a whole day, Shen Yu was done with looking through thousands of books in the library. Normally, it would take several days to finish all of them, but Shen Yu's library has upgraded. He only needed to grab the book and flip any page inside and the whole book will be recorded in his library. The books were all focused on techniques on pill concocting, medicinal properties of different herbs. After finally done, he decided to sit at a corner and closed his eyes to assimilate all the knowledge he gained. He was now very tired and sleepy, so he decided to leave for home. As he was about to walk out when he heard a small voice, "Hello." Shen Yu looked at the origin of the voice and saw that beautiful woman from earlier. Her figure was excellent with her cleavage tantalizing from her huge breasts. Her butt was also very enticing as she got up and walked towards him. The woman smiled with satisfaction as she noticed his gaze. Nobody can resist her charm. She was now convinced that this guy was just trying to attract her attention by flipping through the books. Although she was a little annoyed, she was still curious as to his identity as she has seen all the alchemists in the guild but this one. "Hi, I am Director Yang Xin. You are?" "Hello, I am Yu Shen. I recently passed the primary alchemist exam." "Oh, I see. I see you must have read a lot of books. I was wondering if you could help me with something." She decided to give this guy a hard time who tried to show off in front of her. "Sure. No problem." Shen Yu understood her intention but was not worried. "How do you neutralize the reaction when you mix misty spirit grass with Shpanda herbs?" This was one of the problems occurring during the concocting of spirit recovery pill. If this problem were to be resolved, the efficiency of production would almost double. She decided to stump this arrogant show-off with a difficult question even grandmasters had difficulty with. She was kind of already frustrated with Nai Li, who acted all mysterious when he came over last time and dazzled all the senior alchemists. "That is simple. Misty spirit is yin leaning and Shpanda herbs is both yin and yang. Add some lemongrass or some cheap yin leaning herb to balance yin and yang. Lemongrass itself should not affect the final product. As long as if I can give library has enough information, this type of problem is easy to analyze." Yang Xin was stunned. She never considered to look at the problem this way before. If this succeeded, it will be a great profit for the guild. Nai Li has given them several high-ranking pill formulae, but they still have to figure out the steps of concoction and efficiency is still very low. She was now very curious about his young boy who seems humble and easygoing. What about the reaction for mixing purple grass with dogtail leaves? Her tone was now more respectful. It was one of the problems occurring during concocting of spirit calming pill. Mix them with vinegar and add some yin leaning spirit grass. The effects should stabilize. Yang Xin was now shocked. She was convinced that this young boy before him was a significant expert. She needed to ask him more questions about other pills. Fortunately, he doesn't seem too arrogant or resistant to her charms like Nai Li. Director Yang Xin, I need to leave now. If you have any questions, maybe we can discuss them later. Shen Yu's eyes lingered on her figure for a moment. I am not going to give out all the secrets. You gotta give me something if you want my precious advice. Haha. Now that I think of it, in the story, this woman kind of fell for Nai Li but he rejected him. Yang Xin's eyes gleamed. As she thought, this youth is attracted to her. If she played her cards right, she might get all the secrets out of this boy. She never considered that she could be taken advantage by such as young boy. Of course, how about we discuss tonight at my place over dinner? She thought it better to start now before he runs away. She was sure she could totally handle him. She sent him a flirtatious smile. Yes, that would be great. Can you give your address? Shen Yu wrote down her address, said goodbye and quickly left. He was full of anticipation for the night. Chapter 5, at Yang Xin's house. Shen Yu went back home and showered. He put on clean but ordinary clothes and waited until the appointed time before sneaking out alone towards Yang Xin's house. When Shen Yu knocked on the door, Yang Xin came out wearing a beautiful low-cut dress. You are here. Come on in. She gave him a flirtatious smile. Shen Yu tried to keep his eyes on her face instead of her breasts. She immediately noticed it and smiled with satisfaction. Shen Yu was led to a room with a small round table with cushioned seats on the floor. The food is already prepared. I will order them here. She then went out for a minute and came back with a maidservant carrying different dishes. All right, let's sit and enjoy the meal together. Let me pour the wine for you. She then proceeded to pour wine full on a large cup. Shen Yu immediately understood her intention. She intended to get him drunk to make him reveal his secrets. How could she know that Shen Yu was already gold rank and his alcohol tolerance is much higher than her? Yes. Thank you, Director Yang Xin. May I call you Sis Yang? Let me pour wine for you as well. He tried to cozy up to this beautiful senior. Yes, of course. Now, don't be shy. Eat and drink as much as you like. As she leans over to pick up food, Shen Yu could see her black bra barely holding her large breasts through her low-cut blouse. As they were sitting close together, he could smell her pleasant womanly fragrance. He drank almost all the wine in one go. Have some more. Yang Xin poured more wine into his cup. She also sipped her own cup, after which Shen Yu offered to fill her cup again. This went on for a few times. They were almost done eating. Little Yu, can you tell me how you learn those alchemy skills? Ah, Sis Yang. It's not that I don't want to tell you. My master strictly forbid me from telling anyone his origin. But if Sis Yang has any questions or problems, I will try my best to help you. If there is something I can't solve, I will ask my master for help. By this time, Yang Xin was slightly drunk, but she was confident that the young boy beside her must be even more so. Though she was a little disappointed as he refused to talk about his teacher, she decided to ask about some pill concocting problems to test the bottom of his knowledge. Sis Yang, I feel I need a little rest. Can I lay down somewhere? Shen Yu realized that both he and Yang Xin have drunk a lot. She looked quite drunk already. Sure, little Yu. Come, let me take you to Sis Yang's room. You can spend the night there. She thought the boy was now drunk and thought it the best time to begin her interrogations. She held the boy's arms as she guided him to her bed in her room. As Shen Yu sat on the bed and looked at the beautiful woman beside her, he was already very excited. Little Yu, there are some questions Big Sis wants to ask you. Sure, Sis Yang. Sis Yang, my hands are a little cold. May I hold your holds? Yang Xin took up his hands, rubbed them with her palms. Sis Yang, May I hold you? I want to feel warm. Yang Xin hugged her as she thought the boy was cute. As Shen Yu hugged the mature woman, he could feel her breasts touching his chest, and along with her fragrance, he almost lost control. Yang Xin thought something wrong as she felt the hug tighten. Soon, her lips were pressed down by the boy's lips. The boy's hands were touching her breasts. The next moment, the boy has buried his face on her breasts, trying to lift off her blouse and her bra. She had never had this kind of contact with any man before. She finally thought this little boy is not a boy but a man in a boy's body. She felt a mouth on her right nipple while the left nipple was being rubbed by a hand. She felt a foreign sensation of being excited by her own body. The next moment, the boy pushed her down and was pulling off her skirt and underwear. Everything was almost hazy as she was absorbed in the foreign feelings coming from her body. She finally felt something hard enter her private place and felt a feeling of fullness. The hard thing started a piston motion and she was getting high in unfamiliar but pleasant sensations. She stared at the boy's eyes full of lust as she was absorbed in his motions. After what seemed like a long time, her whole body shuddered and a lethargic feeling took over. The boy had also stopped moving and there was some sticky liquid in her private parts. She felt the touch of a cloth as the stickiness was rubbed off. She then felt sleepy and dozed off. Shen Yu laid beside her. It was the first time he had slept with anyone since he came to this world. He knew that it was first for the lady beside him as well. In the story, the lady felt loneliness because she couldn't find any partner in life. She even felt attraction to Nai Li with his maturity but was rejected by him. Shen Yu thought he could be her companion in this life. They do not need to marry or play lovebirds as teenagers, but Shen Yu thought he could be her companion in this life. As he was mulling those things over, he fell asleep. The next morning when Yang Xin woke up, she remembered the things from last night. She blushed furiously as she recalled the scandalous way the boy has played with her body and how she enjoyed it. It was her first physical intimacy with a man and she never thought it would be with such a young boy. She immediately got dressed and waited for the boy wake up. Shen Yu woke up after having a pleasant dream. When he saw a fully dressed Yang Xin looking at him, he felt a little embarrassed. When Yang Xin noticed his gaze, she blushed. It was the first time Shen Yu has seen her blushing except last night. Sis Yang, you woke up early. Shen Yu got up and put on his clothes as Yang Xin looked away with a shy face. Little you took advantage of Big Sis last night. She was exceedingly cute as she said it in an accusing tone with a red face. Sis Yang, sorry. I was carried away by your charms. I couldn't control myself. You, big talker. She thought this boy was too cunning. Sis Yang, I really want to be your companion. I hope you can be open with me. I will also not keep many secrets. My name is actually Shen Yu. I am the young master from Sacred Family. Please keep it between us. Nobody besides us must know my real identity and my alchemy skills for now. Yang Xin was stunned. She never expected this boy to have this kind of background. She was also a little touched by his act revealing his secret only to her. Oh, little you, I am glad you decided to be honest with me. Shen Yu grabbed her hands as she became shy again. Sis Yang, if you have any questions or problems in alchemy or anything else, I will try my best to answer them to you. You can find me anytime to send me a signal or message and I will come see you. Okay, little you. Big Sis will look for you in the future. She blushed as she said this to him. Shen Yu then said goodbyes and agreed to meet again next week and walked back home. Shen Yu felt some contentment the first time since he came to this alien world. Chapter 6, Meeting Ning'er again. The date of the final test had arrived. All students had to test for their soul force and rank in front of everyone. The students with sufficient strength would then be transferred to special class training. According to the story, my brother Shenfei would find trouble with Nai Li for being close to Ning'er. But since Nai Li is not very close to Ning'er this time, there should be no major conflict. As expected, Nai Li and his group scored high on the test, surprising everyone. Shen Yu tested after most of them and controlled his strength to only reach a 3-star bronze rank. It was neither too high nor too low compared to Nai Li's group. Ning'er was looking at Shen Yu, but when she noticed his gaze, she turned away immediately. When she tested, she was 5-star bronze rank, only 1 star lower than Ziyun, who was the first. Everyone was surprised by the accomplishments of the class. When everyone has started to leave, Ning'er slowly came up to Shen Yu. She has a nervous face as if hesitating about something. "Shen Yu, can I talk to you?" "Sure. Let's walk back together." Shen Yu was excited that she came to see him of her own accord. "Shen Yu, your cultivation technique was very helpful. I was able to raise my cultivation so high because of it. I'd like to thank you." She was blushing a little. "Don't worry about it. I am glad it was suitable for you. I'd like to give you this red jade as my thanks, and my memento." She was seriously blushing at this moment. She turned around to leave without saying goodbye. "Oh, thanks a lot, wait." Shen Yu followed her and caught her arm. She seemed surprised and shy while looking at his hand on her arm. Shen Yu quickly released his hand when he realized. "I'd like to give you a gift as well. This is abstruse gemstone I got by chance. I want to give it to you. It should help with your cultivation." Shen Yu handed her the gemstone he got from the ruins. She looked hesitant at first, then smiled beautifully. She didn't refuse it and took the gemstone necklace. "Thank you. I will see you next semester." She turned around, run away fast. As Shen Yu was holding the red jade necklace, he remembered the significance of it. In the story, Ning'er gave it to Nai Li and it was considered a token of love. This must mean that Ning'er already has some feelings for me. Shen Yu was ecstatic as he was holding this red jade. He was grinning and completely oblivious of his surroundings. When he recovered, he noticed many eyes looking at him with looks almost resembling jealousy and anger. But as soon as he looked back at them, they turned away. He was the young master of sacred family after all. Among the crowd, Shen Yu also noticed the gazes of Nai Li and Ziyun, who were walking on the other side of the road. Nai Li had a serious look with a subtle displeasure on his face, while Ziyun was looking at him with a confused and somewhat curious expression. He just ignored them and kept walking with a smile on his face. He's having a good day and nothing can affect his mood. Back at home, Shen Yu started thinking about how the original storyline progressed. According to the story, Nai Li should have gone back home to visit his family after the school break. He will gain influence in his family with the help of Alchemist Guild. But since Nai Li didn't antagonize Shen Fei and made a bet with him, he will not be invited to the martial arts tournament Sacred Family held, where he manipulated Sacred Family elder Shen Ming into losing money. As the story progressed further, Nai Li was supposed to be invited to City Lord's mansion for protection due to his performance in the tournament, but since he didn't participate, that will not happen now. But he will get invited to set up an array inside the mansion at some point. But he should now be going to Heaven's sacred border to meet founder Ye Yan and pick up the Thunder God's meteorite sword with murderous aura. Right, on his way back he was supposed to be ambushed by a group led by my family elder Shen Ming because they thought he recognized them during the trip to the ruins. I don't know if that still happens now that I have changed certain things, but I can't be sure. But this will be a turning point. Now is the time to make a decision on how to survive. This has been on his mind since he transmigrated. How to use his knowledge of his family's connection with the dark sects and their plan to betray the Glory City. If he does nothing, he is sure he will be swept away by the tide and will not have a good ending. But he is too weak to change the overall direction of his family. The only way he could think of was to betray his family and cooperate with City Lord in return for some benefits. He doesn't have any close feelings to his family, so he will not feel any strong guilt. The thing is how to approach the City Lord, since any misstep can lead to disaster. Chapter 7, Making Plans. After some consideration, Shen Yu decided to just directly seek out City Lord in an informal capacity. But to not raise suspicions, he told his family he is going to visit his fiancée Ye Ziyun. He set out alone to the City Lord's mansion. When he arrived, he was invited to the guest hall where he told the guard that he is here to visit Ye Ziyun. He thought asking for an audience with the City Lord seems too official. After a few minutes, Ziyun came in the hall with a solemn face. While walking towards the hall, there were several thoughts going through her head. She has never completely accepted Shen Yu as his fiancé, but she would not do anything to disappoint her father. If the family relationship helps her father protect the city, she is willing to go through with it. Although recently, she has gained a powerful cultivation technique from Nai Li, so she might be able to help her father more by becoming a powerful cultivator. She secretly hoped her father would see her potential and depend on her instead of marrying her away. Ziyun has noticed Shen Yu's behavior change over the last few weeks. He used to pester her by always following her around, but since over a month ago, he completely stopped doing it. She was glad of this change but also curious as to what brought it on. Also the other day she saw it when Ning'er gave him red jade, which symbolizes a girl's love. This made her really agitated. She has no feelings for him despite him being her fiancé, but she couldn't understand how Ning'er could like a guy like him. She wished she could go and ask her directly, but her relationship with Ning'er has been very cold. Shen Yu, what are you doing here? Hi Ziyun, can I talk to you for a while? Yes, come in. I will walk you to the courtyard. Ziyun, how are you doing? I have come today to ask a favor. Ziyun was confused. What could he possibly want with her? She became a little vigilant thinking of his past behavior. Hey? What is it? I want to seek an audience with your father. I want you to personally go and tell him directly. I need to talk to him about something very important. You can listen in too. I hope she does what I say and not question me further. This is the only way I could think of having access to City Lord in an informal way. What? Why do you need to meet my father? Ziyun thought he came here to see her, and when he asked to speak to her father she was shocked. Even though she loved her father very much, she herself is careful around her father. She always worried she will disappoint him. Now that Shen Yu asked her to go fetch her father, if it wasn't important, she would really be irritated. It's very important that I meet him. Please do me this favor. I know your father is very busy, but I need to tell him this. Oh okay. I will go and check. Wait here. She left Shen Yu and went into the house. A few minutes later she came back. Father said to come into his office. Come, I'll lead you to him. Shen Yu followed Ziyun and arrived at the office of City Lord. The City Lord, Ye Zhong, was sitting behind a big desk piled with books and papers. He looked tired, impatient, and a little curious. Shen Yu pay respects to City Lord. Hello. Why do you look for me? Can you state the reason? I am a little busy. Ye Zhong was disgruntled. He was busy looking through documents for city supplies when his daughter came to interrupt to say, young master from Sacred Family, Shen Yu has come to look for him. Ye Zhong had met this young man and know him to be frivolous. He wasn't exactly fond of the engagement that his father secured. At the time, it was only a political tool to stabilize the situation in Glory City. Unless it's absolutely necessary, he didn't plan to let her daughter marry this spoiled boy. If it's important business, why would Sacred Family send a little kid even if the kid is unofficially engaged to his daughter? My lord, I have important information that relates to the security of Glory City. Is this room secure enough? May I ask the Lord to check the surroundings using your spiritual sense? Actually, Shen Yu could sense it himself since he was already at the pinnacle of gold. But he chose to ask the Lord to make him pay serious attention. Yes, it's safe. Speak. Ye Zhong was now very vigilant. Ziyun also became alert. My lord, I have come to tell you about a few things I learned that may be very consequential. I believe my family is planning to betray Glory City. Shen Yu got straight to the point and let the sentence hang in the air. Ye Zhong was shocked and Zia Yun stunned with her mouth open. The whole atmosphere became very tense. What have you learned? Tell me everything you know. Ye Zhong's authoritative voice sounded out after some time. Shen Yu could see the dignified authority in his posture. He is at least taking him seriously now. Chapter 8, Revelations. What have you learned? Tell me everything you know. Ye Zhong's authoritative voice sounded out after some time. Shen Yu could see the dignified authority in his posture. He is at least taking him seriously now. I overheard some conversations between Elder Shen Ming and some men in black clothes. From what I gather, these people were from the Dark Guild. Also, they seemed to be planning for large-scale monsters' attack against Glory City. There was silence for a full minute. Ye Zhong looked furious for a moment before he calmed down. Shen Yu saw Zia Yun tremble in the corner. Do you know these people? Where they are from? I have seen these people before. They work at Sunflower Restaurant my family owns. Why are you telling this to me? It's your family. My lord. I struggled a long time before I arrived at this decision. I cannot let my family ruin Glory City that has existed for generations. What they are doing is completely immoral. Shen Yu tried to speak seriously and sound like he is full of justice and honor at the same time filled with great pain. Ye Zhong already had a very grave look and gave a subtle nod. Of course, he wasn't completely convinced but he still considered him seriously for a moment. He cannot rule out that this is a unique trap by Sacred Family. Shen Yu met his scrutinizing stare with a determined gaze. Right now, we have no evidence against your family, so I can't act. Keep watching your family and try to get into the inner circle. If you tell them you know something, I am sure they would bring you in their circle instead of silencing you. Yes, my lord. I shall do my best. Shen Yu made a pained expression as if betraying his family was difficult for him. Ye Zhong gave a nod. I am very thankful for your information. Keep me informed of any developments. My lord. How do you want me to contact you? Ye Zhong seemed thoughtful for a moment. It was important to not raise any suspicions, otherwise he would lose the advantage of having an inside man. My lord. I have a suggestion. I do not know if my lord agrees. Speak freely. I think we could have Miss Yet as our point of contact. Che Yu said it while he glanced at Zia Yun. Ye Zhong frowned. Zia Yun looked up and became alert. My lord. Let me explain. Publicly it is known that Zia Yun and I are engaged. If we meet outside in public as an engaged couple, people will have no suspicions. My family would also encourage it. Seeing Ye Zhong frowning further, Shen Yu hastily added. Of course, my lord. I dare not have any intentions. I understand that when this crisis is averted, I will be in no position to have any relationship with your daughter. I only thought the best place to hide is in plain view. Ye Zhong's eyebrows seemed to relax a bit. All right. I agree. Zia Yun, meet with Shen Yu outside in public every other day. Relay me any information he gives you. Zia Yun nodded. Yes, father. I will fulfill your orders. Zia Yun was still stunned after everything she heard. I shall now take my leave, my lord. Shen Yu bowed and waited for permission to leave. Zia Yun, go see Shen Yu out and plan for the outing in 2 days. Yes, father. Zia Yun glanced at me and led me out of the office. When Shen Yu was out in the courtyard, he asked Zia Yun for his second purpose in coming here. Zia Yun, if possible, can I visit your family's library? Since I am looking for a particular book, I only need to go through some books. If you are just looking at the public collection, I think it's fine. But if you want to borrow some books, I will have to speak to my father. Zia Yun knew that her father treasured the family's library a lot and let most of the guards access it. For top secret documents, only the most trusted people could access it. But since Shen Yu was about to help his father, visiting the library with semi-public collection seemed to be fine. She then led him to the library. She stayed outside the entrance to see him flipping through some books without taking a careful look. It looked to her like he didn't find what he was looking for. When he came out, she led him out of the mansion. When Shen Yu neared the entrance, he said, "Can you meet at the east end of the city square in 2 days around 6? There should be many people there and the place is safe enough for a small walk." "Okay. I can do that," Ziyun replied quickly. She now had a respectful gaze as she looked at Shen Yu. She couldn't imagine what he must be going through to betray his own family. Was this why he changed recently? She immediately steeled herself to stop thinking about it. A part of her was satisfied that she could be useful to her father. Shen Yu then said goodbye and left. He felt accomplished and somewhat relieved as he managed to fulfill both of his objectives. He knew it was no going back now. He also reached closer to Black Gold rank with the collection from the City Lord's Library. Chapter 9, First Date with Ziyun. When Shen Yu arrived home, he shut himself in his room and started to cultivate using the books for Black Gold rank compiled by the library. Although the compilation is not complete, he could still feel his soul force increase significantly. When he tested using a soul stone, he had reached the beginnings of Black Gold rank. In Glory City, he should be considered a top expert and be able to face anyone or escape safely from battle except Lord Ye Mo, the city Lord Ye Zhong and his father Shen Hong. The next day, Shen Yu arrived at the place he agreed to meet Ziyun. He found her already waiting on the corner of the city square. He used his spiritual sense to inspect the surroundings and as he suspected there were 2 gold rank experts hiding in the shadows. It seemed the city lord didn't completely trust him yet. "Hi Ziyun. You are here early." I smiled lightly at the beautiful young woman standing by herself. "Hello, Shen Yu. I just arrived. Shall we walk to the park?" I gestured towards the direction of the park. "Okay. Let's go. How's everything going? Is anything new?" "Not really. Oh, Nai Li is now staying in the mansion. He's helping my father with something." Ziyun felt a bit awkward talking about Nai Li, though she didn't understand why. As expected, he should start helping the city lord with setting up a demonic array. For the timeline, there will be an attack on the mansion soon. "Okay. Here we are. Let's walk through the garden path like others." When they arrived at the garden path, there were already some couples walking hand in hand talking and laughing among themselves. "Maybe we should walk arm in arm like the others, just to be safe in our cover." When Ziyun heard what Shen Yu said, she hesitated but nodded with a neutral expression. It was pretty weak reasoning, but surprisingly she linked her arm around Shen Yu and kept walking as if nothing has happened. After about half an hour, Shen Yu gestured towards a bench under a tree where no one was around. "Let's go sit under the tree for a moment." Ziyun nodded and went to sit on the bench. Shen Yu first used his spiritual sense to sense his surroundings, and when he is satisfied, he said to Ziyun, "Ziyun, I have some information you can relay to your father." Ziyun became alert and she was looking at Shen Yu seriously. "I have reason to believe my family will send some Dark Guild members to wreak havoc in City Lord's mansion in the next few days." Ziyun visibly tensed then trembled. But why would they do this? What do they gain from such an attack? Wouldn't this be a clear evidence of betrayal? Their purpose is to create instability and to cast doubt on your father's ability to lead Glory City. In short, the Dark Guild wants my father Shen Hong to become City Lord and make him a puppet to control Glory City. Also, there will not be any public experts from my family participating in the attack, so City Lord can't directly pin in on us. I will relay this information to my father. The atmosphere had become quite tense when Shen Yu proposed to go back. When he offered his arm, Ziyun didn't hesitate to take it. They didn't talk at all during their walk back as both were absorbed in their own thoughts. When they arrived back at the square, Shen Yu said, "Let us meet again next week here at the same time." He smiled at her gently as he said goodbyes. Ziyun nodded and said the same and went back home. The next few days Shen Yu stayed at home hanging around elder Shen Ming or others. They seemed to just not mind him and went about their business. The group from the restaurant also came several times. They must be planning for the attack on City Lord's mansion. At the end of the week, Shen Yu went to visit Yang Xin as planned. They talked for a while about some alchemy problems. She seemed to be aware of Sacred Family's betrayal as she asked some roundabout questions. Alchemy Guild President must be in the confidence of Ye Zhong as in the story. It seemed Yang Xin was in the inner circle of the guild's higher-ups. Shen Yu revealed to her that he was the source for the information and was working with City Lord to give information. She was shocked but eventually accepted after his assurances. In the evening, they had a private dinner and Shen Yu was about to leave when they heard sounds of explosions. When they went outside, they found long columns of smokes and commotions coming from the direction of the City Lord's mansion. Shen Yu held Yang Xin's hand as they gazed towards the mansion with various thoughts running their heads. The attack on the City Lord's mansion had begun. Chapter 10 More Intelligence. The next morning, the whole city was in an uproar as the news of the attack spread everywhere. The City Lord's mansion sent people to calm everyone and assured them that there was no significant losses suffered by the City Lord's family. The atmosphere inside his family was very tense. He hadn't seen his father and brother during the meals and was only accompanied by his mother. His mother was a quiet woman who agrees with everything his father says. However, he can see that she does love him a lot. Even if he didn't inherit his host's emotions, he has nothing but good feelings towards his mother of this world who had always been very gentle to him. He started to think about what will happen to his family after all of this is over. He was not very concerned about his father and brother's fates as he had no attachment to them whatsoever. They seem to be in the upper echelons of the family and included in the inner circle, so they are unlikely to be spared if they were defeated by other powers. Also, the news spread of a very powerful array called the 10,000 demonic array that was critical in repelling the attackers, and there were rumors that its creator was a young man called Nai Li who found the materials and techniques in an ancient ruin. The City Lord Mansion did not confirm or deny this speculation, and this surprised everyone. In the next week, Shen Yu went out again for his appointment with Ziyun. She was waiting on the same spot and smiled as soon as she spotted him. Shen Yu offered his arm to walk towards the park and she accepted without hesitation and with a smile. When they reached a quiet spot, they sat down on a park bench and Ziyun initiated the conversation. "My father wishes to thank you for your information. Because of our advanced preparation, there were only a few serious injuries but no casualties during the attack last week." As Shen Yu had never seen Ziyun smile at him like this before, he was feeling warm inside. He was staring at her with his mouth open. He came back to himself when Ziyun tore her gaze away with a slight blush. "I am glad that is the case. Cough cough. I heard there was a powerful demonic array used in battle." "Yes, the array was used in the counterattack." Ziyun seemed to become tense in a moment. It seemed the City Lord has decided to not give any public information about Nai Li. Of course, he is still an outsider and still not completely trusted by the City Lord. "Ziyun, I have found more information I can share with you." Ziyun nodded with a serious face. "I have found the benefit the Dark Guild offered my family in return for cooperation. First, they wanted to control Glory City by helping my father fight for City Lord's position. If that doesn't succeed, they want to destroy Glory City and my family is promised a place in a new realm called Abyss Prison Realm. You must know about the ruins at the north of city with a big seal that no one has broken. The Dark Guild seemed to have successfully broken the seal and there seemed to be a whole new realm inside. So, it's like this. Thank you very much for sharing this me. My father will be glad to have this information." The duo became silent after this as neither felt compelled to speak and enjoyed the quiet atmosphere. Soon a couple walked towards their path, followed by their laughter that ended the silent atmosphere. "We should go back now," Shen Yu said as he became sensitive to his surroundings. "Yes, of course." Ziyun took the offered arm and walked back towards to the square from where there is direct path to the Lord's mansion. "Let's meet up again next week if nothing happens." Shen Yu knew that according to the story's timeline, she would go with Nai Li to visit Abyss Prison Realm and stay there for 2 weeks. If that happens, their next meeting would be in 2 weeks instead. Of course, he can't mention that since he wasn't sure if that will still happen with all the things he had changed. "Okay. I'll see you next week." Ziyun smiled at him and turned back to walk to her home. Shen Yu looked at her back for a moment before turning back to head home as well. Things were moving quickly and he needed move on his own plans. Chapter 11 More Revelations. Ziyun was absent on her appointment the next week. During the couple of weeks, Shen Yu visited Yang Xian occasionally and other times stayed at home trying to get into the inner circle of his family. As expected from the storyline, he heard snippets of conversations of a million monsters attack coming to Glory City. He finally found another important intel he can pass on to the city lord. He went to the city square the next appointment to see if Ziyun is there. When he was about to leave after waiting for a while, he heard a small voice calling his name. "Shen Yu, I am here. Sorry I couldn't come the last 2 weeks. I was traveling to Abyss Prison Realm with Nai Li." She seemed anxious as she said this. She wanted him to understand that she was incapable of meeting him due to a reason. "Okay. I understand. Let's walk around the park," Shen Yu said with a smile. He then offered his arm, which Ziyun took with a smile and started walking towards the garden path. As usual, they sat down on a park bench in a secluded part of the park. "Were you safe during your visit?" "Yes, we were. Nai Li protected us." Ziyun was hesitant because her father had not authorized her to tell Shen Yu about her findings inside the realm. She thought her father was too cautious as Shen Yu had already proven his trustworthiness. Shen Yu understood her silence and quickly delved into the serious topic he had prepared. "Ziyun, I also have critical intelligence today. The Dark Guild has planned a million monsters attack from South Gate in 2 days. Tell City Lord to prepare since there is 2 more days. Maybe ask some alchemists to make something useful." Shen Yu added the last part to make sure City Lord tell Nai Li about the attack. In the story, Nai Li was able to reduce casualties due to his innovative techniques using alchemy, but couldn't do enough because they found out about the attack in only about 4 hours in advance. That way he could get some credit in City Lord's eyes. Ziyun was utterly shocked, but she understood the seriousness of the situation. Each moment was crucial since they had this knowledge ahead of time. "The purpose of this attack is to divert City Lord's attention from my family. Your father has changed out all the guards at the North Gate, which my family is responsible for. He has also tried to suppress my family in economic dealings, and it's actually working. Our family's influence is growing weaker day by day. Also, Ziyun, tell your father." Here Shen Yu grabbed Ziyun's arm as if to stress the severity of what he will say next. Ziyun tensed at first, then relaxed as she looked somberly. "My father Shen Hong will join the counterattack against the monsters and will find a chance to assassinate your father." As Shen Yu felt Ziyun tremble through her arm he is holding, he let go and placed his hand on her shoulder. As she was about to speak, Shen Yu interrupted. "I know it's dangerous, but if your father saw it coming and can protect himself, cultivators at this power cannot be easily assassinated. Just tell your father and he will know what to do." Ziyun has calmed down and had a determined look in her face. Today's intelligence seemed to be most critical so far. "There is one more thing. Your half-brother Yehan has joined our family. I overheard some conversations that if my father failed to assassinate your father during the monster's attack, he will come to see your father and try to kill him. Although he is no match for your father, if your father let down his guard, he will able to take advantage." I also heard he will be using a special poison called Draconic Tongue Herb, which is extremely lethal against people with dragon bloodline or dragon-type demon spirit like your father. Ziyun was now extremely pale at this point. She was scared by all the information being relayed to her and especially worried for her father. I know you must be overwhelmed. Please take a few breaths to calm yourself. As soon as you are calm, we will go back immediately since time is of the essence this time. Shen Yu said in a gentle voice as he placed both his hands on each of her shoulder. After about 20 breaths, Ziyun seemed to calm down and Shen Yu retracted his hands. Shen Yu, thank you. I am okay now. We must go quickly. Ziyun stood up abruptly and started walking back arm in arm with Shen Yu towards her home. No words were exchanged during their walk back as each was involved in their own thoughts. Chapter 12 Nai Li's Disapproval. 2 days after, the city was in an uproar. The soldiers went towards the south gate where monsters were arriving. The families stayed in their homes with doors shut. Shen Yu stayed home as he was told by his family. He thought it was regrettable as he could have earned people's favor by fighting the monster beasts. He knows he will need it when his family fell from grace. Explosions could be heard often and the fight went on for 2 days. The whole city was in a tense mood as the scale of the monster attack seems to be much larger than before. All available fighters had to contribute in the battle. Scene break. There were excitement and semi-celebrations on the streets as the soldiers returned home from battle to their families. The news on the street was that there were very few casualties because the city lord was prepared for the attack. Also, the Alchemist Guild rigged grounds with fire poison and other novel explosive attacks to attack almost half of the beast hordes. There was news that it was that young genius who was critical in helping the Alchemist Guild setting up these unique traps. That certain someone was obviously Nai Li. Because he had enough time to prepare, his contribution seemed greater than in the story and his reputation was higher than ever. There was no denial from the city lord this time as it seems they intended to make it public. He almost regretted passing on the knowledge, but he knew he was critical in passing on the intelligence in advance. Alchemist Guild also received the goodwill of the public. When he went to see Yang Xin, she was in a celebratory mood. She was satisfied at having the guild played a major role in battle. Her position in the city had risen a lot as she had to deal with the political matters on behalf of the guild. Just as the town was in a jubilant mood, a rumor started spreading around that city lord had fatal injuries. Nobody knew where the rumor originated from, but most people dismissed it as hearsay since they saw city lord just fine after finishing the monsters. Also, there was news that there will be a hero's banquet held in city lord's mansion in a week. Shen Yu guessed that the city lord must have plans to corner his family during the banquet as in the story, and the rumor was for his family to drop guard. At city lord's mansion. At the lord's office of the mansion, Ye Zhong sat behind a desk. In front of him stood his daughter, Ye Ziyun, and the troublesome youth, Nai Li. Lord father-in-law, there is no need for Ziyun to go see that Shen Yu anymore. Now that we have a plan to strike on the day of the banquet, I don't think that guy can give us any useful information. Also, we cannot let out any leaks about our plan for the banquet to him. This is too important. Nai Li said in a somewhat authoritative manner. Since he heard about Shen Yu being an informant for City Lord, Nai Li had felt very agitated. This was not going according to timeline he was familiar with. He didn't think he did anything to cause a change in Shen Yu. He was a nobody in the last timeline who got killed in the monster attack, but the current Shen Yu seemed a little too special. When he learned Ziyun had been meeting with Shen Yu to relay the information, he was infuriated but couldn't stop it because the information was very helpful. But now that they finally have the plan to defeat Sacred Family, that guy is no longer useful. Father, Shen Yu has given us very useful information both for the attack on Mansion, Monsters attack, and about Ye Han's plan to assassinate you. Without his information, there would be a lot more casualties and even father might be endangered. He has sacrificed his family for the sake of Glory City again and again. Can we not show a little trust to him? Besides, he might have some new information that might be useful. Ziyun was extremely distressed and grieved that Nai Li would forbid her from meeting Shen Yu again. She had finally become useful to her father and he wanted to take that away from her. Also, she felt an injustice on behalf of Shen Yu. Ye Zhong was feeling upset. He agreed with his daughter that Shen Yu had been very sincere and helpful to him. He hated the way Nai Li was talking to him as if he was giving an order. Even though the kid had contributed greatly to the city, he still couldn't get used to his arrogance. But he still had to give him face because he knows Glory City would benefit greatly if Nai Li continued to help. Also, at least the fact that he might be jealous for his daughter meant he would love her well in future, right? All right. I agree with both of you. Let's make a compromise. Ziyun, you can go meet Shen Yu, but this will be the last time. After the banquet, I don't think there will be any need to meet him. But you cannot talk about our plans for the day of the banquet. Yes, father. I will follow your instructions. Ziyun relaxed a little. She was still not satisfied but knew couldn't say anything at the moment to change her father's mind. Humph. Nai Li walked out of the room without any greetings in a dark mood. Chapter 13 Final Date. There was a strange atmosphere at Shen Yu's family home. His father and the elders seemed to believe the rumor about the city lord being fatally injured and they were probably looking forward to the banquet. Shen Yu stayed by himself in his room until the evening when he was scheduled to meet Ziyun. He couldn't progress in his cultivation but he was practicing some of his skills with the dark lamp he looted from the ruins. At City Square. When Shen Yu arrived at Square earlier than usual, he already spotted Ziyun standing at the same place. He greeted her when she spotted him with a smile and they went to the park arm in arm. They sat down on a park bench on a quiet area as usual. Your information about the monster's attack was very helpful. I thank you on behalf of my father and Glory City for your help. Ziyun said with a brilliant smile, a slight bow. I am glad I was useful. What about Ye Han? Did he try anything with your father? That is. My father. Ziyun was very distressed as she didn't know how to answer. Her father had not given her permission to talk about his health. I understand. You don't need to speak anymore. Shen Yu was a little angry and disappointed. He thought he had earned the trust of the city lord by now. Ziyun's reaction convinced him that there was a plan like in the story to fool the sacred family with rumors of city lord's ill health and corner them during the banquet. But he will not be given that information from the city lord. If he had stayed at home as usual, he might be caught in the crossfire during the raid, so he thought he deserved at least some warning. Well, I don't have any special information. They are all buying the rumors of your father's injury and are looking forward to the banquet. Since I can't be useful to you anymore, let us go back. Shen Yu's tone was a little cold. Ziyun's face had become strained. How did it end up like this? What could she say to relieve his distress? It hurts her to see him in this state. She unconsciously leaned closer to him. Shen Yu, I'll trust you. She wanted him to know that she trusts him even if her father didn't. Shen Yu understood her meaning. He felt some relief from his emotions and whispered a soft thank you. They sat there in silence before Ziyun broke the silence. I am sorry for you. You have sacrificed a lot for Glory City and I can't imagine the pain you must be feeling seeing your family like this. Please, I don't want your pity. A man would rather have a woman's hatred than her pity, especially from a pretty, that is a lady's pity can hurt a man's self-confidence. Ziyun thought she caught his unspoken word and trembled slightly. She felt a strange sensation in her chest. Her heart started to beat erratically. I don't pity you. I only worry for you. It hurts me to see you in pain. It's not pity. It's... Ziyun didn't know what she wanted to say, so she just stopped speaking and tried to convey her feelings with her eyes and grabbed his right hand in her palms. Shen Yu stared at Ziyun's eyes for a long time and he saw deep concern for him. He felt touched and his earlier negative emotions calmed down. He then looked at his right hand in her palms, thinking how soft they felt. Ziyun saw his gaze and retreated her hands abruptly with an embarrassed expression. Neither spoke for a moment as both seemed to be absorbed in their own worlds. Some laughter and footsteps of some people from a distance broke the intimate atmosphere. "We should go back," Shen Yu said softly. "Yes. Let us go." Ziyun took the offered arm and started walking back the way they came. When they were about to reach the square, they saw a little girl crying in a corner of the street. Mommy, Mommy! Where are you? Hey little girl, calm down. We will find your mommy. Leave it to us. Come follow us." They took her with them as they found out she got separated by her mother. They decided to walk towards the square, which was more populated and likely to find the mother. When they reached the square, they were spotted by a teary-eyed woman who came running. "Thank God! She's okay. I thank you very much for helping my daughter." Yanner thanked the big brother and sister. The mother truly seemed grateful. "Big brother, big sister, thank you very much, here it's a gift for you," the girl said with a cute voice and shoved a small necklace into Shen Yu's hand. The mother looked on with a smile and then took her daughter away after repeating her thanks. The necklace was a very simple but unique handmade design with a heart-shaped gemstone, which was most likely not very precious. It was something you can get from street stalls during festivals. "Ziyun, you can take this necklace. I have no use for it." Ziyun hesitated but answered with a small nod. "Here, let me put it on for you. You can throw it away later if you don't like it." Before she could reply, Shen Yu went around her back and tied the necklace on her neck. When his hand touched the skin on her neck, he thought he saw her move a little. When he came back around, he saw her blushing for a moment before saying, "Thank you." Goodbye, Shen Yu," and turning around to walk back fast. She even forgot to tell him that this was the last time they could meet under these circumstances. Shen Yu stood there looking at her back for a while. After about 20 steps, Ziyun turned back to only lock on to Shen Yu's gaze before hurriedly turning back in embarrassment and walking towards her home. Chapter 14 Preparations. On the night of the banquet, Shen Yu stayed behind until his father and elders left. He then sneaked into the treasury and carried away as many gold, demon spirit coins and other treasures as he can carry in his storage rings. Since the meeting with Ziyun, he knew that he cannot fully rely on City Lord after this night. He needed some resources to survive by himself, but he only took about 1/3 to avoid suspicion. He then decided to go and stay with Yang Xin for the night. Yang Xin seemed to know the significance of the night. She kept telling him that he would always have a place at her home no matter what happened. Shen Yu was touched and assured her that he would look for her help if necessary. The two had dinner and then were mostly silent. As predicted at night, there were explosions and yells from a distance and the whole city was in an uproar. There were guards from City Lord's mansion asking everyone to stay indoors. The commotion was bigger than during the day of the attack on the Lord's mansion a month ago. The city calmed down after a while, but Yang Xin and Shen Yu were nervous throughout the night. The next morning, Shen Yu and Yang Xin walked out into the streets where many people were gathering in crowds and talking among themselves. From their conversations, they found out that the City Lord has completely defeated Sacred Family Group led by Shen Hong, and the elders that stayed back at the house. The Sacred Family from today on was no more. Most people were shocked by the fact that one of their own would betray their city and work with the #1 public enemy of Glory City, the Dark Guild. A lot of negative comments were thrown on the scared family. "Let's go back," Shen Yu said in a small voice. He was a little worried for his future and knew the next few days were critical for him and what's left of his family. "Yes. Let's go back home." Yang Xin seemed to stress the word home as she tightly held Shen Yu's hands and walked back the way they came. Shen Yu understood Yang Xin's intention, but he was not willing to live with Yang Xin. He would like to be independent if possible, but most importantly he didn't want Yang Xin's reputation to be hurt because of him. Even his evening visits to her must end temporarily. He was now the only living son of the biggest traitor in history of Glory City. Shen Yu knew that his father, brother, and family elders were all either dead or awaiting execution in prison after interrogation about Dark Guild activity. He is now the only surviving male member from the main family. There were still his mother and other family members of deceased elders or branch families. Since he was too young, he decided to help his mother take control of the family as the matriarch. Shen Yu's mother was a docile wife and kind mother but was not in the inner circle of her husband, so she had no role in the rebellion. If she went back to her family, she would probably not be treated well. In addition to the surviving branch families, there were also servant families living in the mansion. Most of them could find other masters, but there were some who are too old or unable to do so. He felt like he could help them even if he didn't feel any special bonds towards them. Sis Yang, do you know of any small mansions for sale in Glory City? Shen Yu asked. Yang Xin seemed to realize his intention and was a little disappointed in her heart. But she still helped him as she had promised. On the same day after talking with Yang Xin, Shen Yu purchased a small mansion on the outskirts of the city using the demon spirit coins he took from the treasury. The Alchemist Guild was helping in securing the transaction and Yang Xin was happy to help. It was the home of a small noble in the city and it had several buildings with a large courtyard. The noble family had already moved into the richer neighborhoods inside Glory City. The next step was to contact the city lord and find out the results of the battle. It was finally time to seek repayment for his continuous contributions. Even if Ye Zhong weren't as forthcoming in recognizing his contributions, he needed to get his blessings to move his mother and the rest of his family into the mansion. Chapter 15 Negotiations with the City Lord. Shen Yu then went to the City Lord mansion and asked the guard to meet the City Lord. When he realized his mistake and was about to be questioned by the guard, he saw Zai Yun walking towards him. She spoke to the guard who left and faced Shen Yu. Shen Yu, please come in. She had a respectful face with some traces of sympathy on it. Thank you. I need to see your father. He didn't smile but said in a serious voice. His family members might have just died after all. It would be unrealistic if he acted like he was happy. He was mostly concerned about whether his mother was fine. I will take you to him. She led him toward the building and to the office he first had the meeting with City Lord about his family's betrayal. After knocking on the office door, Zai Yun said, Father, Shen Yu has come to see you. There was silence on the room and then an authoritative voice, come in, could be heard. When they entered the office, Ye Zhong was sitting behind the desk and Nai Li was standing beside him. Shen Yu bowed as soon as he went in and bypassed the greetings and directly asked. City Lord, I have come to ask about the situation of my family. Especially my mother and other younger cousins, they had no knowledge in the plot of the upper echelons. You are right. They are all safe. We only attacked the combatants that resisted. I am sad to say that both your father and brother have perished in battle. Although they deserved it, it must be hard for you. I have to first thank you for your contributions. Let me know if you have any requests I can fulfill. I am glad that my mother and the rest are safe. I want to ask about how you plan to handle the aftermath. There is a lot of anger from the public towards my family. Those responsible have already been punished, so I hope City Lord can step in to control the nobles that want to take advantage of the mess. Ye Zhong was silent for a moment and was about to reply when Nai Li spoke to him as if Shen Yu wasn't in the room. Father-in-law, we cannot be seen as supporting the traitors after all. We must stay neutral in this, otherwise the other nobles will blame us for not protecting the city. Cough cough. Shen Yu, we will make sure your family is not harassed, but we can't publicly declare our support at the moment. How about we hire some mercenary guards for your surviving family? Shen Yu was silent for half a minute as he gazed at Ye Zhong. There was less politeness in his tone this time as he said. I have purchased a small mansion on the outskirts of the city. Everyone in the room was shocked into silence. Where did you get the money for that? Nai Li interrupted with a hostile tone. Shen Yu looked at him but ignored him and continued to talk facing Ye Zhong. I just used some money I saved up. Of course, even a young master like him couldn't get enough stipend to buy a mansion, but Shen Yu was not going to dive into that. He didn't feel the need to explain how he spent his own family's money. Besides, after everything he had done for him, if the city lord asked him for the money he took, he will never forget it. He will lose all allegiance to Glory City and even take his own family away if he ever get a chance, or straight up kill him if he becomes powerful enough in the future. Of course, he was already very overwhelmed and could not think calmly at the moment. I wish to move my mother and surviving family members of the elders to that mansion. My mother and the others had no part in the rebellion. I can vow to that. They are only women and children who were unknowingly get swept into this debacle. How can we know that without investigating? Nai Li interrupted again. Zia Yun on the side looked angrily at Nai Li and about to say something. Ye Zhong spoke up first. Shen Yu, I understand your intention. I will allow it. Ye Zhong was actually relieved. He was thinking about how to deal with the survivors since he knew the public wouldn't want them to continue to live in the mansion. Shen Yu's suggestion would solve most of his problems. He knew Shen Yu probably raided the treasury beforehand, but it seemed to be not much since there was a lot left in there. Besides, he wanted to use the treasury to rebuild some damages in his mansion and add to his own treasury to use for Glory City. Lord Father-in-law, this is not appropriate. We should investigate more. Nai Li spoke again hurriedly. Nai Li, I have decided. Ye Zhong was determined and gave Nai Li a glare, but Shen Yu's next words shocked him. City Lord, my mother wishes to use part of the treasury left in the family mansion to pay compensation to families hurt by the Dark Guild. She wishes for you to administer it on her behalf. She also wishes to donate the rest of the treasury to the city to spend on the reconstruction of Glory City. Ye Zhong was shocked for a moment. He was never planning to give the treasury back to the survivors. He was planning to do the compensation and renovations in the city lord's name anyway. But Shen Yu's words forced him credit the family survivors to the reconstruction that will happen. Of course, he can refuse it, but he is bound by honor through his promise to Shen Yu. He felt some admiration for the young man in front of him. The man was dependable, smart, and loyal to Glory City. If only he wasn't born in that detestable family, he might have been pulled over to his side. He then looked at Nai Li and Zia Yun but put his thought out of his mind. Humph, the treasury now belongs to Glory City anyway. Nai Li muttered on the side. Zia Yun was now practically glaring at Nai Li. I agree with your mother's suggestion. The public will know of her generosity. Also, I will send someone with you to inform the guards stationed at your mansion that they can leave and prepare to set out for the new house. Ye Zhong spoke next. I thank you for your help. I shall leave for now. Shen Yu gave a short bow to Ye Zhong, glanced at Nai Li and then nodded at Zia Yun. He then walked out of the office immediately. Zia Yun followed and caught up with him when he was already at the gate. She called out Shen Yu, and when Shen Yu glanced at her, she just said, I'm sorry, That is, I hope everything gets better. Shen Yu nodded and then walked away, leaving Zia Yun blaming herself for not thinking of something nice to say. She felt she could have said some condolences for his family or anything else to comfort him. As she gazed at his departing figure, she subconsciously felt the necklace on her chest with her hands. Chapter 16, Family Matters. When Shen Yu arrived to his family's mansion, he immediately went to see his mother. When he got to her room to knock and call out mother, she quickly opened the door and seemed to be in a daze when she saw him. She then hugged him tightly, repeatedly muttering, You are okay, you are okay, you are okay. Shen Yu was touched by her affection and remembered his own mother back from Earth and decided to treat this lady in front her as well as he can. After he repeatedly assured her that he is fine, he delved into the serious topic. Mother, I have purchased a mansion at the outskirts of the city. I have also just had a meeting with the city lord. And he allowed us to move in there, including all the surviving family members of the elders. I also have some funds taken from the treasury to survive us for a few years. The rest of the treasury will be donated to the city lord to use for victim families in Glory City. Shen Yu patiently explained to his mother about what he had planned and his conversations with city lord. He left out his betrayal of the family to not distress her. Shen Yu's mother was shocked to see her son planning everything out. As far as she knew, her son was always involved in immature tactics and only followed his brother around to cause troubles. She felt relief and gratitude to see her son grow up and take care of the family. Mother, you will now have to lead the family. You have to be strong for all of us. Right now, the situation is volatile and our family's reputation is very bad. We need to move out of this place soon. Yes, son, don't worry. Mother will gather everyone and will try to move out in 3 days. A resolute light could be seen in her eyes. Even her son was doing all he can, she felt that she can't let him down. After talking with her mother for some time, Shen Yu went to see Yang Xin at the Alchemist Guild. Now that his family is in a delicate state, he knew he can no longer stay low-key and out of sight. The family needed support from a strong faction within the city. The city lord is not likely to be a strong supporter with Nai Li constantly besides him. So he set his sights on the Alchemist Guild. He decided to make his identity as a primary alchemist public and even take the exams for intermediate and advanced alchemist exams. He had already compiled all the books in the Alchemy Guild with Yang Xion's help and he was already at the level of Master Alchemist able to compete or impress the most experienced alchemist. After taking the tests for 2 days, the shocked president and elders gave him the title of Alchemist Master. He then negotiated with them to post some gold rank and even a couple dark gold rank guards at the new mansion and made his title public. In return, the guild would receive guidance on their alchemy issues which can be arranged with the help of his system. Among the surviving family members, the highest was now only silver rank. Since the public anger against his family was great, he didn't want to take any chances with his family's security. When he returned to his mansion, he found that his mother had settled most of the surviving members in the small mansion. Shen Yu had handed all matters regarding household management to his mother and majority of the family accepted her position as head of the family without resistance. He then recounted the promise from Alchemist Guild and her mother was both shocked and delighted. Her son was becoming more reliable even if a bit mysterious. Shen Yu felt relief after taking care of the issue of his family. There was still public anger against the family but there was no physical violence. The city lord mansion had announced the charity of his mother and it calmed people down as it showed their intention to not pursue the survivors for more reparations. Also, his title of Master Alchemist and Black Gold rank cultivation greatly shocked the public. At first, many were skeptical until they saw the guards posted by the Alchemist Guild around their family's place. This meant the Alchemist Guild was serious about protecting the surviving Shen family. Many of the great nobles who were oppressed by Sacred Family in the past gave up any thought of revenge on the Shen family and decided to adopt a wait-and-see approach. The public commotion also calmed down after a week. Chapter 17, Leaving Glory City. He stayed at the mansion for a few days helping his mother with settling the family. He was also cultivating as much as he can in his spare time. During this time, he had a surprise visit from Xiaoninger. Xiaoninger was very worried about his life as soon as she heard about the battle of the Sacred Family. She wanted to make sure he was okay and to help in any way she could. Although she had no good feelings towards the Sacred Family, Shen Yu had already occupied an important place in her heart. She was able to free herself from her family's arranged marriage with Sacred Family initially because of her rise in cultivation strength. Her father's status in the clan had also risen dramatically as a result and she had fewer restrictions on her freedom now. All of this was due to the help of Shen Yu and she was willing to do anything to return the favor. Brother Shen, are you really all right? You really didn't go through any battle? I am completely fine, Ninger. I am telling the truth. Shen Yu said holding her in his arms. After Shen Yu responded to her feelings, they had already become comfortable speaking to each other in intimate terms. Shen Yu had also already had the sensitive conversation with both her and Yang Xin about the other and able to convince them to accept each other to a degree. Yang Xin was easier to convince and felt that it is only proper for a young boy of his age to have a romantic partner of similar age. He had to take a long time to convince her he didn't care for her any less because she was older. He was almost tempted to tell the truth of his mental age due to reincarnation but decided to wait until a later time. Xiao Ning'er was reluctant at first as she wanted him all to herself, but after meeting with Yang Xin, she seemed willing to accept it. He wasn't sure what Yang Xin told her but decided not to pry at this time. I am glad you came to see me, Ning'er. I will be busy with my family and will also be going out for a trip in a bit. It will be some time before I see you again. Where are you going? I will also come with you. Not this time, Ning'er. I promise to bring you with me the next time I go. Shen Yu was planning to take her with him to the disciple selection of the Master of the Netherland realm. Right now, he was still a little weak relatively, so he decided to go out and train. I will remember your promise, Brother Shen. I will get stronger too so I can help you with your burdens. Ning'er only left after he repeatedly assured her he will be okay and promised to let her know as soon as he got back. According to storyline, Nai Li would also go out to train and meet spiritual god Yu Yan. He would then arrive at Black Rock City in the north and found out about Yehan's plot with Wugui family to attack Glory City. But since Yehan didn't get away because of Shen Yu's warning, the attack might not happen this time. There might be other unpredictable changes, but Ye Zhong should be able to handle it with the Beast Array. As long as Glory City is standing, his mother and the rest of the family shouldn't be in imminent danger. Shen Yu decided to head north after saying goodbye to his reluctant mother. Mother, I would like to go outside the city to train for a while. I want to set out tomorrow. I will come back soon. Shen Yu had become closer to his mother over the last few days. Her mother was a capable family head who took care of the household. He felt confident of her safety and her handling of family business. His mother persuaded him to stay as she knew it can be very dangerous outside and her family didn't have high-level guards at the moment. She was eventually convinced after being told he wouldn't stray too far away from the city. When her own family had stopped responding to her letters, she knew the situation was very precarious. Her son had surprised her again and again the last few days. Especially with how he was able to become an alchemist master and gain the strong support of the Alchemist Guild. She knew without their help her family would have a hard time to continue surviving in Glory City. There were many noble families that will not hesitate to take advantage of their situation. Shen Yu decided to also send a letter to Yang Xin as well. Since last week he hadn't shown his face to her home in fear of implicating her into public anger. She had come to see him repeatedly the last few days and he really appreciated her sticking with him the whole time. He managed to receive many high-level pills to possibly trade for manuals he may come across in Black Rock City. He needed to grow stronger than to decide his own fate. Chapter 18, Fire Goddess. Shen Yu was sitting in front of village head in the Tianyun Highland Valley. After showing off a few skills to the guards that surround the biggest house in the village and stating his intention to cooperate, he was given a formal reception. So, you are telling me there is an entire city of more than 1 million people fighting against demonic beasts? Yes, exactly. And there is enough food for everyone, and they do not have to starve. That's correct. I can give you a map to the city if you are interested. Of course, sir. We would be forever grateful for a chance to get out of this place. You can tell the city lord that you were sent by me. He will understand and give you places to live. As long as you do not betray and act in any way that harms the city, you will be treated well. You can make further negotiations directly with him. Nai Li did make a significant contribution in the story when he allowed these inhabitants to settle in Glory City. As there were many powerful fighters among them, it raised the overall battle strength of Glory City. Now that he was on the way, he could take care of this small matter. Thank you, sir. We will convene amongst ourselves and make a decision as soon as possible. It's possible, at the beginning it will just be an advance group to pave the way, but if what Sir is saying is accurate, it will be a huge blessing for us. We will not forget Sir's kindness. No worries. Anyway, I need a guide to the Black Spring Forest. I know how dangerous it is. Just bring me to the edge of the forest. Yes, sir. Of course, I will send a capable fighter to go with you. Please let me know if Sir needs anything else. After reaching the forest and walking around for a while, he found a cave with runes on them. His knowledge of runes is quite rudimentary, unlike his skills with alchemy, since there were not a lot of literature on inscription in Glory City. Still, he was able to crack the runes, and then found the precious loot from a bunch of dead bodies. He had just gained legend rank gear that would cause a great uproar back in Glory City, but he knew that wasn't what he came for. Come here, mortal. It's been ages since I met another human. My respects, dear goddess. You know me? How? The legend of Fire Goddess has been passed on through generations. It's an honor to meet you. Shen Yu of course was making it up. He recognized the goddess from his memory of how the story would go. Still, he knew he could benefit a lot from this goddess that had a sort of divine beauty with arrogance that fit naturally with her demeanor. After chatting for some time, he convinced her to teach him the power of laws. He began first with the power of light in the Black Spring. He was ecstatic once he confirmed that he could absorb the power contained in the Black Spring just like Nai Li. After cultivating in the Black Spring 3 days, he not only reached the pinnacle of Black Gold rank but also stepped into the first steps of Legend rank by understanding parts of the power of law. Sensing the power of laws was not as easy as he did not have the higher cultivation knowledge like Nai Li did, but his powerful soul due to reincarnation and his pure soul energy from his system did help a lot. He was able to at least sense and control to a small degree the power of laws in several domains including light, dark, death, time and space. Sister Goddess. I think I have a way to get you out of here. Yu Yan was surprised but was not convinced by the boy before him. The kid has shown remarkable talent in cultivation as she saw him rise through the ranks to peak up Black Gold rank just by cultivating the spring for a few days. He was even able to sense and manage to control a bit of the power of law that took years for ordinary mortals. She was quite impressed with this mortal, but when he said he could get her out, she was clearly skeptical. Chapter 19, Nether Realm. Even with his basic understanding of runes, he was able to find the flaws in the runes that make up the physical body of Goddess Yu Yan. Just by concentrating on the flaws compiled by the system, he was able to reconstruct the runes and almost set her back on the recovery track. She would only some time before she can fully control the law of fire to recover her heavenly destiny rank cultivation. She was already stronger than he was in both cultivation and battle strength, as she is now at peak legend and quickly advancing. Hey Shen Yu! How did you learn all this knowledge of runes? Haha, Goddess Yu Yan, it was something I practiced myself. Yu Yan was obviously shocked and very grateful to Shen Yu. She repeatedly asked Shen Yu about his origins but stopped after she realized he wasn't entirely forthcoming. She never thought a mortal man could be this mysterious. Had the standards of cultivation and techniques become so high while she was asleep? She suddenly had high hopes for the future of human civilization. One of the reasons Shen Yu needed to find Yu Yan was to find a way into Nether Realm. With her knowledge and memories, the way into the realm was not hard to discover. Along the way, Shen Yu kept Yu Yan up to date with the news of the Glory City and other human settlement he came across. Being able to accompany this ancient goddess that have lived for almost 1,000,000 years as he traveled was a unique feeling on its own. Getting a grasp of the power of law in the Black Spring together with cultivation advice from Yu Yan helped him fully utilize the Library of Heaven's system to put him solidly in the legend rank. He was now in the same cultivation rank as the city lord and the deceased Shen family head. He could already be considered a top powerhouse in Glory House. Though he still lacked in battle experience, his system cheat allowed him to see through the flaws of any cultivators, which gave him a huge advantage. However, he knew there were many legend ranks within the many cities of Nether Realm. In order to further advance his cultivation, he only needed time to accumulate his understanding of the power of law. It was such a relief to him that he didn't need to go around looking for cultivation books this time. Not only that, he was able to gain a few interesting battle techniques from Yu Yan which he was able to tweak to suit his own cultivation. When they reached Blackrock City inside Nether Realm, he went to an inn with a pub to look for information. He wanted to learn of any news and get familiar with the city. He wanted to know as soon as there is an announcement by the Nether Master to recruit a disciple. He also checked for information about Yehan but it seemed there was none. Either he came too early or it is possible that Yehan probably didn't survive to sell information off to the Wugui family about Glory City. Now that he had found the way into the Nether Realm he could go back to Glory City and come back to take part in the assessment. He decided to wait until the news of the assessment and while he waited he continued his cultivation. Having Yu Yan beside him was basically another cheat itself as he didn't need fumble his way into increasing his realm. If he can accumulate enough to reach demigod rank before the test, he could guarantee his safety and anyone he chose to bring with him. The other reason he was looking for the trip to the city was to acquire a large number of demon spirits. He had already obtained the Nightmare Demon Pot with the help of Alchemist Guild and some resources from his family before the item even went into auction like in the story. This was also before his family fell from grace so it was not hard to acquire the item. He had already combined his family's demon spirit with tiger bloodline and the shadow devil spirit from the shadow lamp from the ruins. Somehow, the cultivation technique compiled by the system allowed him to combine with more than one spirit like Nili's technique. The Shadow Devil spirit was a now extinct ancient spirit with god-level growth. The problem was even with all the demon spirits he could acquire, he wasn't able to evolve his tiger demon spirit to extraordinary level growth rate, not to mention god-level growth. He quickly set about buying up high-level demon spirits around the city. He had many precious treasures to trade for them, so the cost was not an issue. There were groups wanting to rob him thinking him an easy target but his peak legend cultivation was enough to deter majority of them. Also, he wasn't buying very rare demon spirits that could raise the eyebrows of high powers in the city. Yu Yan inquired about his action of just throwing the low-level demon spirits inside the demon pot. She was unconvinced that such a small pot could evolve demon spirits to higher level growth but what she saw surprised him. Shen Yu's tiger demon spirit that was already considered high level relative to Glory City and even the cities in Nether Realm was evolving slowly and visibly with each attempt. Shen Yu was overjoyed when the spirit in his body finally reached a sufficient level to be considered at the extraordinary. He then set about stabilizing his soul and continued to accumulate his cultivation. How many more secrets do you have? Yu Yan spoke with a voice that no longer held a trace of superior and detached tone. She was beside him as she watched Shen Yu accumulate spiritual power as she sensed his cultivation and control of power of law increase gradually. With the rate he was going he might even touch the demigod rank in a month. She had almost become numb with shock with the many secrets the boy had shown since she started traveling with him. She now knew that the boy was an anomaly as the outside world did not change drastically since she went into seclusion. After discussing with Shen Yu, they both decided to cultivate quietly to improve their realms. She also needed to regain her divine spark by accumulating the power of Law of Fire so she didn't fall behind her mysterious junior. Chapter 20, Back to Glory City. After cultivating for a month, Shen Yu accumulated sufficient spiritual power and understanding of the power of law and broke through to demigod realm. Yu Yan also stepped into power level of demigod with more parts of divine spark recovered. The process that was supposed to take many years was simplified with the help of Shen Yu's system. Yu Yan was now fully convinced of his abilities and no longer treated him as a mortal but as an equal. After coming out of his semi-seclusion, he went to check for news in the inn. As he expected there were already rumors of recruitment by Nether Realm. He didn't hear any news about Nili so he wasn't sure if he was already here. After staying for a few more days, he decided to return to Glory City together with Yu Yan hidden inside his pockets. She was already able to recover to her full-length form but until she gathered all her divine sparks she decided to stay in this form. On their way back, they were ambushed by the two demon beasts who were guarding Yu Yan at Black Spring. They were peak legend rank and would have given the both of them trouble before, but with their current cultivation, they easily overpowered them. Shen Yu was able to test the different battle skills he learned from Yu Yan and have a real first battle. Although the battle didn't last long, he gained more confidence in himself from his battle experience. Currently, he could defeat any expert in Glory City, but there are other demigod-level powerhouses in Netherrealm he needed to be careful of. However, his control of power of laws are in many domains including light, dark, death, time and space, which gave him a huge advantage in battle. Together with a system that can show him the flaws of any cultivator in a battle, he was practically the most powerful cultivator now in a one-on-one fight in the whole realm aside from the master of the Nether Realm. With Yu Yan as his ally, he was confident in safe escape even in the unlikely event of being ambushed by many demigod-level experts. After reincarnating in this world, he finally felt like he had really become truly powerful. Although he knew there were many more realms above him that he needed to master, he knew that with the help of his system, he would have a much faster and safer route to power than others. So, when he arrived back to Glory City, he was already very relaxed. He first assured his mother of his safe arrival and sent a letter to Ning'er to meet with him. He then went to check in on Yang Xin at her mansion. "Sis Yang, I am back. Come in." "Oh, little Shen, when did you get back?" Yang Xin was wearing a green dress as she came out as fast as she could to welcome him. "Just today, I came as soon as I arrived as promised." After being reassured his safety, Yang Xin asked about his experiences outside. Shen Yu recounted her some of his adventures and the factions outside Glory City. Obviously, Yang Xin was shocked to learn about human settlements outside the city walls. She was also worried as there were powerful demigod cultivators that could flatten the city. Here, Shen Yu revealed to her his demigod-level cultivation and further left her speechless. She was very happy and proud for him. The last few months, she also had been improving her cultivation rapidly with help of powerful cultivation techniques from Shen Yu and already reached the peak of black gold rank. After discussing some more about his cultivation, he finally popped the serious question he couldn't delay. "Sis Yang, I will be going to the disciple assessment of the Netherland Master at 9-layered Deathlands. Would you like to come with me?" Yang Xin was shocked. "If you would rather stay, I would understand. You are already very powerful cultivator and have a high position in Alchemy Guild. I can show my cultivation to force the old fogies in the guild to give you full power as president. You will be fully respected here in the city and have anything you need." Yang Xin covered his mouth with her hand and said with a dark expression, "Are you trying to get rid of me? Do you want to leave me alone by myself?" "Of course not. I want you to come with me." "Wait, will you truly come? Will you be able to leave everything you have built behind in Glory City to go to unknown places with me?" In lieu of an answer, Yang Xin pulled him in for a long passionate kiss that lasted minutes.